Welcome back to Vegas Live with Ninon. Of course, we're down here at the Papa Mill, and it's a Tuesday afternoon, and it's absolutely wonderful. Am I losing my voice? No, not really. Anyway, I have Shivanii with me. I just had her father on. Last week I had her mother on. Talk about a competitive family. Each one of them have their own individual thing going on. This is amazing. She's only 18, so she is legally allowed to come in here, so we're all fine like that, which is wonderful. She's brought her, it's Spreading Love, and Shivanii Ray is her last name. I haven't asked her anything what she does, but I did ask her one question. I said, what do you do? And she said, well, I help people with whom they are.
With their emotions. So I help people feel happy by cultivating their emotional agility.
So, agility? She's even got all these wrong words. You haven't even been to college yet, right?
I'll be honest, I don't plan on going to college just because...
Well, what do your mum and dad say about that?
They're supporting of it because they know that the career that I'm in, I can get all the information, all the knowledge elsewhere. Because you go to college, you can learn all about, a lot of different things.
And then not use any of it.
Exactly.
You use nothing of it.
Yeah, so specific education.
Yeah, which is, in England we have a thing called technical colleges. A technical college means, I hope I'm right, unless they changed it, is you can actually go and study whatever you want to study. We also have apprenticeships. Mm-hmm. If you want to be a hairdresser, you go and do an apprenticeship and actually in a hairdressing salon.
Yeah, so on that topic,
yes.
From 2015 to 2017, I was traveling around the world, learning about entrepreneurship, learning about speaking on stages, business. So I did the whole internship and got to learn. And travel.
Having a good time and traveling.
Yeah.
Now, I know your father was saying, your mother was saying, that you actually had to go back to England, or wherever you had to go back to, and because of immigration, all that stuff, which we're not going to get into, especially with you. We're not going to. Believe me, we're not. So you were able. How old were you when they started? You must have been like 9.
I was 10.
10 years old.
I was 10 years old, and our families. We had to sell everything and go through the entire process.
But your mother loved it.
Oh, yeah.
Because she had nothing to clean anymore. She didn't have to really cook anymore. And she had her family with her. I think that's one of doing that with 2 young kids.
It's definitely, I can't imagine it's probably a little bit challenging, but we had the best time of our lives in that 5 years. And
you were all compatible about this. You all understand. Well, you probably didn't have a choice.
Well, we made a decision as a family.
You did?
Since as long as I can remember, everything has always been our family joined together and making decisions.
And what about your little sister? How old is she?
She is currently 13, and she was 5 when we left to go travel. And then from there, during the time that I was traveling with the company, learning about entrepreneurship and speaking, that's when I really started to get into, emotional agility.
And did you, as you were traveling, you were obviously traveling through different countries. Did you see the difference of how people handled themselves, how they felt about themselves in these different countries?
Yes.
Were they all totally different?
It's very different everywhere you go. It just really depends on actually who the person is, firstly, their background, their history. But it also depends on where you are.
Yeah, but also your background and your history is where you are.
Exactly.
So that's where you are. So you're brought up in this kind of, I always call it like a tunnel. She was not brought up in a tunnel because she was traveling.
I was not brought up in a tunnel.
She definitely was not.
Maybe an airplane, but not a tunnel.
Traveling in an airplane a lot, which was also gave you the experience of flying.
Yeah.
Getting on and off a plane, having all these incredible experiences. Because I had a similar upbringing. I didn't go to school, and I was partly taught at home and not home. And I was just more traveling and antiques and all this crazy stuff. But I don't know if it was so crazy because, like you said, you don't want to go to college. But you really don't have to go to college anymore.
No, you can learn everything.
You can learn that, but you can also do it from the internet.
Exactly. And during our travels, one thing that I wanted to add was we got to see the amazing things of travel, like the Taj Mahal and beautiful temples and meet amazing people. But one of the other things that not a lot of people do when they travel is go to the slums of India, where people are living in a 12 by 12 room with 7 people in there, and that's really what inspired me to create the albums.
When
that I
you
love.
saw that coming from America, because America has got so much good, we have so much here in America, which I sometimes don't realize. And when you see these slums and you see 15 people living in, like, as you said, a 12 by 12, and you see that as a young child, what effect did that have on you?
So the best way I can put it is this. So every year we take a group of Americans and Canadians to India, and we take them on a tour called the Mantra Tour. And one of the times where we got to take these people, we take them through a journey where we take them to the Taj Mahal and all the amazing things
that they would not normally get to see.
Yeah, and as well as we take them to the slums and we get to sing and play with the kids that are in these slum schools that are living these lives. And one time somebody was on the tour and she said, I don't know if I'm going to be able to contain my emotions, when looking at this. You don't get to see this every day.
No.
And I may cry, and my dad actually said, he goes, no, we're not here to feel sorry for them, because if you look at every single child in there, I assure you that they'll have a bigger and brighter smile than any mall in America.
And I guarantee she's right. I guarantee that's right, because they're so not inhibited with all this extravaganza of where's my phone and where's my Nike shoes or my Jordan shoes and all this crazy stuff.
Happy.
They're just happy.
They're just happy.
Yeah.
And that is why I wanted to create Spreading Love, the CD. It's just to share that.
So this is your CD.
Yes.
This is her CD, Spreading Love with the Heart. She doesn't know, but actually what I draw all the time are hearts. I'm a heart drawer. When I'm on the phone, I'm
drawing hearts.
I'm drawing hearts of love. And I think that's so true. I'll put two of them up there. It is so true. But so what is your main thing? Only being 18, you have not had all the experience, but then I'm going to take that back as well, because you probably have more experience than a lot of people as of life and seeing the human being out there. What is the main thing that you see about them not being happy or not being satisfied, or what is the main thing you see?
The biggest thing is people view emotions as good or bad.
Okay.
Most people, when they're feeling a little bit sad, they're like, oh, I'm having such a bad day, blah, 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 and it just takes over their day.
Yes.
When really all emotions is, the good, the bad, all it is your body and the way you feel about external circumstances. It's just letting you know how you feel about things.
Yes.
And if people can people can understand that, if they look at emotions from a standpoint of this is how I feel about it, and allow themselves to let it go, understand it, let it go, and move on.
What if they look into a mirror and see how they feel? Could they kind of get out of it that way? I mean, because I often say, look into a mirror and love yourself.
Yes,
just
looking in the mirror and asking yourself questions.
Okay.
Asking yourself, why do I feel this way? How am I feeling? Pinpoint how you feel. Like the other day.
And is it going to make any difference to your life, even if I worry about it? It's never going to happen. Probably.
If you can pinpoint, it's like, okay, look in the mirror and be like, I'm feeling a little bit frustrated right now. Then you're already looking at it from an external viewpoint.
Yes.
You're detaching yourself from I am this way.
Yes.
Which is the biggest thing. If you say, I am sad, of course your mind's going to be sad, because you're telling
yourself you're sad.
Exactly.
So if you're sad, it's going to be happy, be happy.
Exactly.
Be positive, be negative.
Mm-hmm. If you're telling yourself, I'm feeling this way, it's an external thing. You can detach yourself from it.
So can you turn around and say, I'm feeling this way because of? And if
that's by asking yourself the right questions.
Asking yourself, say, why do I feel down, or why do I feel this, or whatever the case may be. I mean, sometimes you can be sitting on a sofa and you want to get up and do something, but you just don't. Mm-hmm. So you just make yourself get up and do that. Or make yourself go for a walk. I've always said that if you're in a mood or something's going on, just get up and do something different. Just get up and, I don't care what it is. Doesn't really matter.
See, sometimes that's good. Sometimes, it can help you to understand why you're feeling that way.
Yeah.
But other times, a lot of people use it as a distraction to not actually handle what you're feeling inside.
And they don't want to.
When really, what that's doing, it's like brushing something underneath the carpet and letting it emerge 10 times worse later.
When did you first start all this and realize that you have this sort of thing that you can help other people in such a positive way? Because your presence, her presence is amazing. It's just you're happy, but you're not overexerting yourself or overdoing anything. You're just like explaining in a very reasonable, beautiful way. And I'm not going to say as an 18-year-old, but as an 18-year-old.
It's true though.
It is true. She's 18.
It's. I must say that during the times that I was traveling, there was many instances where, I'd put on a strong front. I'm super happy in the room, and everybody would always know me as Shivanii, the happiest person in the room that has no issues at all. When really, there's
and inside
times,
you had stuff going on.
There were times where, I had stuff going on.
This is very interesting. So, in other words, you're saying, if you've got something inside, let it out, address it. As I said, look in the mirror, sit down, meditate, whatever you need to do to get rid of this, right?
Yeah. It's not even getting rid of it. It's more
addressing
understanding it and letting it go.
And letting it
go. Because getting rid of something means that you don't want it, you don't want anything to do with it, when really
But you've got to address it.
It's giving you an understanding of how you feel about certain things. That's all it is. That's all emotions are. It's telling you how you feel, and if you can allow yourself to understand, okay, this is how I feel about a certain topic, or this is how I feel about a certain person, then you can understand, why you're feeling that way, and then you can just let it go and have it not be an issue to you.
To yourself. Mm-hmm. Okay, there's a lot of things going on outside in this beautiful, wonderful world. I've always been for the younger generation, and I have the younger generation's back. I had a TV show for 16 years, and I interviewed children from 12 under 18 over. But I interviewed these children. Now, a lot of people in this world are saying how stupid the younger generation, they don't know anything. All they do is they're on their phones. Blah, blah, blah. It's like this whole negative thing is going through a younger generation. I disagree with it completely, because I think they're smarter now than they've ever been. Mm-hmm. I didn't have a computer, I didn't have a phone, I didn't have all this stuff.
Yeah, the information is all there.
It's all there. Mm-hmm. So what would you like to say to the older generation to buck up and
I'd say the biggest thing is viewing the younger generation as equals. That's what I've always been raised in an environment as. Everyone within my family and even friends of ours have always had conversations with me as if I was just one of them, one of their friends, one of their mates, Yeah. And for me, that had such a big impact because I don't view anybody as above or below. We're all just people.
We're all just people. That's all we are. I mean, some have got more money, some have got less money, we're all different colours.
But I'll tell you what.
What? You tell me one thing.
All people have emotions. And all people need to deal with emotions, no matter how old you are.
So that's it. Mm-hmm. So that's your message out there. All people have emotions, and the emotions you have, deal with them. They can be great emotions, they can be happy, they can be nervous, they can be anything you want, but deal with it.
Just allow yourself
now,
to
how can people get hold of you? I mean, what do you give people? I mean, we've got the CD, so they can they buy this?
They can buy the CD
and how much
on
is
my website. My CD online is about $12, and in person, if you want a physical copy, it's
$20. That's because she gets her signature put on it for you.
Yeah, of
you
course.
personally sign
of course.
it.
But
now,
the best way to contact me is either through my Facebook page, Shivanii Ray, and my website, ShivaniiRay.com.
Okay. And how's business going? Is it going good?
It's going good. I am getting keynotes and sharing the message and really just wanting people to understand that emotions are not a good or bad thing. They're just...
That's what you have. Mm-hmm. Now, I have to also say one thing. Her father is obviously helping her.
Of course. I never take all the credit for where I am. My family has gotten me exactly to this point.
Yes, but they've listened to you.
Yes, they have.
They have listened to you, and they have helped you. And I guarantee the only reason, well, not the only reason, but the reason her father is behind it is for what he does in the processors business, and so he's helping you get out there. But he's only done it because he probably realizes you have something really great that helps other people. Mm-hmm. And I think that's wonderful. Isn't she amazing?
Thank you.
Shivanii, she's absolutely wonderful. Thank you for coming on. We'll be right back.
Me.
Oh, absolutely. You're amazing. 18-year-old. Fabulous.